Hello Mallards, it is Sunday. I am rocking my Happier Than Ever t-shirt that I got at the show I went to see last week. 2 weeks ago? I don't know, whenever I went to see that. Anyway, this morning I went to a workshop on devising theater done by the guy who's doing a show called Around the World in 80 Toys, which is like a toy theater puppet sort of show. And it was really fun. Megan and Clark and I all went. We talked about why we were there. I said I was there because I like school, which is true. I love class. And then he talked a little bit about his process, about the things that he does, about the art that he creates, which was interesting. It was cool to learn. And then he gave us all big sheets of paper and post-it notes of a couple different colors and told us to arrange the post-it notes in an interesting way on the sheets of paper. So we did that. And then once that was done, he gave us an object from his toy show that we could add to the arrangement. And then we wrote a title for the piece. And then we free wrote for a while, whatever you wanted. And then we were told to turn the post-it notes into things. So songs, set, characters, lighting, whatever, elements of the show. And then we all presented each other's work, presented our work to each other, which was really fun. I created a tragic tale of a cat bard that climbs a mountain and then tumbles off the edge and dies. Mostly because of how I had arranged the post-it notes leading me that direction. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I do write dark stories in general, so it wasn't really a surprise for my ending to be dark and terrible. But it was fun to just create and devise and then listen to what other people had created and devised and what they had done in that short amount of time. So I had a really good time with that. And now we're gonna go see an immersive show. I decided in front of this snarling lion was the place to be, I guess, to talk about the show that I saw. So I went to a show called Afterworlds, and I had been excited about this show pretty much since the start of Fringe. Because when I went to the White Room, which you will remember is that sound immersive, all of the orchestral players, that show, I met a guy there named Taj who told me he was doing a show that was also immersive and interactive and had some interesting elements, and it was called Afterworlds. And so I was I gotta put that on my calendar. The only time it worked on my calendar was today, so I saw it at the tail end of everything. It was fascinating. I absolutely loved it. So the idea is that reincarnation is real. It is a thing that keeps happening. And so they call them worlds, the worlds you wake up in. So people thought it was an afterlife, but then it kept going. Sorry, I'm just petting my lion. And so the concept is that you are now in world 9, where they figured out how to download memories because people are getting overloaded with the memories of all of their past lives, right? And so they've downloaded the memories of this one guy, Adrian, and it is our job as archivists to go through it and decide what to keep and what to get rid of. The parameters were a little unclear, but it sparked some fascinating discussion. And also people were really into there were some people in our group who were we just want to watch all of the memories. Definitely not possible in the hour amount of time you have. You actually can't watch all the memories. And then some people were we need to debate every single one. And we ended up watching a bunch and then trying to debate, and we could not agree on anything. Some people were yeah, we got to keep all of the memories, and some people were no, we should only keep these 3 memories because it shows a core thing. And we ended up not eliminating, well, actually we eliminated 1 memory because the guy who had shown that memory, because once you show the memories you were told to keep it, and you show the memories through this RFID thing. So you the memory is a picture and you place it on an RFID reader, and then it plays a big video on projection, which is really cool. The tech for the show, awesome, obsessed. So the person who had seen that memory, once you play it, you're supposed to keep the envelope from that world. So we're going through all the 9 lives that this guy has had. And the person who kept the memory from the world where they were an infant who died in infancy just tore up the paper and was I am making the choice. And that was bold, and I loved it. But that was the only choice we made the whole time. The rest of the time was just debate. And I think the debate is really interesting. I think the audience varied wildly. There were some people who really just wanted to watch the video. One guy was we should watch the video because the artist worked really hard on those. And I was dude, I don't think you understand the point of an interactive immersive show, you are in the wrong place. Like, they would not have created this idea of debate if they didn't want you to debate. I think watching the stuff is secondary. And then we were given like pages to take notes on where we like had all the worlds laid out and we could write things. And so that was fascinating as well, because then they collected the notes at the end to like hold on to. So I'm fascinated to see like what gets done with those notes and like what moves forward. But I really liked it. Like, I think our audience was maybe not ready for it in parts. And also like, I have so many thoughts. I just have so many thoughts. I'm a person who likes to play the game, and I was given a game to create an archive and decide what memories should and shouldn't be kept. So I wanted to delete stuff right off the bat. I was like, yeah, let's just get rid of it. Dump it, because that is the game mechanic, and I am a player of the game, and I have been given a job, and my job is to create an archive, and I'm gonna do it. And I get to do it my way. It's my job. Which makes me probably like a less socially conscious person, but I like to play a game. So yeah, I've talked forever about the show. I could talk forever about the show. I loved it so much. I'm definitely going to be messaging the creator and being like, I would love to talk to you more about this show because I am obsessed. I want to know what you gathered from this. Like, how did you feel after it? Tell me everything. So yeah, that was really fun. And then the next part was no fun, which was trying to find parking downtown, which was freaking disastrous in City Center. And it means that I missed the next show that I wanted to see, but I'm going to go see one more show, so I at least have one more show to talk about before I go to Megan's show. But right now, I'm in a park under a statue of a lion eating a snake because I needed to go on a walk and feel better. So this is where we're at, in nature, in the middle of the city. I got more ice cream. I don't know, I was sad earlier, okay? I'm allowed to have 3 scoops of ice cream for no reason. I got chocolate chili, it's really good. God, it's so good. We just saw a show called Zap, put on by the Anti-Hero Theater Company, which I knew going in, but Clark did not, that it is a deaf theater company. And so the show was performed completely in ASL. I'm good.
Okay.
So the show was performed completely in ASL with voiceover, I guess.
Yeah, interpreter / voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With interpreters, which was like, it was really cool. It was a detective noir drama with a mythological twist, I guess. And so like the actual plot of solving the murder we got, but what I really enjoyed was like, I have never seen a show in ASL.
Same.
Yeah, I would say neither of us have ever seen like a deaf theater show. So watching somebody perform in ASL was really interesting. I feel like your body does very different things when you have to use your hands that much. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't have a lot of experience watching ASL in general. So watching emotion come through, like how many different ways there are to sign the same thing depending on your attitude, which I really enjoyed. Like I felt like you could feel the attitude of the characters from the way their hands move, in the same way that you would feel the attitude of the characters from their vocal tone in a speaking piece. But I felt like we got less vocal tone from the interpreters.
Yes, they were ASL interpreters, and they were not, although sometimes they were acting, they were not necessarily actors first. Yeah. So you got your action by watching on stage, and then just sort of auditory feedback from the interpreters. But I enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was really cool. Yeah. I had a lot of fun. I'm very glad we went. Me too.
And now I'm going to take Clark to Megan's show, which I will probably not screw up the tech of. We'll see.
Yay!
I am at a Cracker Barrel somewhere in Virginia. Look, there's a Cracker Barrel. Megan and I are parked for the night. Her last show went quite well. Small audience, but they really enjoyed it and they were cheering really loud. We said goodbye to Clark and then we started driving. I made it like 4 hours of driving, I think, but now I'm too tired to continue. So I'm gonna sleep and we will continue this wild drive when I see you tomorrow.